Hello, everybody. Welcome in, and welcome back to another episode of
What
What
Anna
Anna Said
said
podcast. We're
podcast.
so excited to be here, ready to
Yes, we
catch
are.
up,
I know.
ready to kind of dive into everything
Mm-hmm.
that we've been up to.
Yes.
And also, just as you see, it's us three today here
Yes.
on the couch. Thank you guys so much. For those of you who are tuning in, thank you. And for those of you who have been with us from the beginning, who continue to support us, even in the times that we are not as consistent as we want to be, which is, we need to do
Yeah.
better.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
thank you guys for continuing to support us, continuing to follow along on our journey, continuing to hold us accountable,
Mm-hmm.
continuing to support the guests that we have had on. A
Yes.
lot of you do tune in and you leave comments and,
Yes.
just words of encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
And we really appreciate that
Yes, we
because
do.
this is a whole community thing that's going on here.
Exactly.
And so thank you guys. On that note, we've been talking about having to come on here and just update you
Yeah.
guys on kind of
Exactly.
the happenings, that's
Mm-hmm.
been happening since we've last had an episode where it was
Yeah.
just us three. There's been so many changes. There's
Oh
been
yeah.
a lot of things that did stay the same, but there's been a lot
Mm-hmm.
of things that are like, whoa, at the beginning of this, we never thought that we'd take this direction or do
Yeah.
this thing. So we're going to just dive into that.
Yeah.
I know at the beginning of the year, we talked about goals. We said
Exactly.
that we had some goals that we wanted to set. Some goals were really, some goals were really out there,
Yeah.
and we were just throwing things out there. And so now it's time to update you on
Yes.
the status of those things that we said we were going to
Exactly.
do or we wanted to do. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, we're back in action.
Mm-hmm.
And we just want to update you guys because we need to hold ourselves accountable. We said we're going to
Yes.
do it.
Exactly.
Are we doing it or
Yeah.
what's going on?
Exactly.
Just
We need to
saying
hold
things.
ourselves accountable,
Just
and
saying things.
Yeah, right.
and you guys need to hold us accountable.
Okay. So, right. But yeah, what month are we in? We're in. Can you guys believe?
Wow. Yeah, that is right.
September.
Can you believe
The
we're
year
in
is almost
September?
done.
Hey, it's almost officially 1 year. Or has it already?
No,
We're
it's
almost
almost.
1 year
Yeah.
from when we
I know
started the
around
podcast.
November, I think. Yeah.
That's wild.
That
we
is.
we should do a giveaway or something.
We should definitely do a giveaway. You guys
I think
stay
so.
tuned for the
That's a great
details on the
idea.
giveaway for our
Yes.
1 year anniversary podcast
Yes.
anniversary.
Yes.
We definitely want to do something fun with you guys, especially
yeah.
those that have been so supportive from the beginning.
Exactly.
A lot of you were so supportive when we started, and you continue to hang in there. Thank you guys, because you could be spending your time anywhere else, and you decide to spend your time with
Yes.
us as we catch up each week. It should
Mhm.
be each week
Yeah.
on the couch. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, September is that time in the year where the business, of course, the year's busy, but then
Yes,
the
but
actual, the
yeah,
holiday
it's just
busyness
back to
and
back to back at the end of the year.
wow, September, October,
Yes.
November, December, and we're in the
Mhm.
new year. That's crazy to think about.
Exactly.
That time has just flown.
It really has.
by.
I still can't believe we're
And
at the
so
end of the
many
year.
things have happened in the year 2024 itself that I can't even.
Yeah.
If I was
for
to
sure.
sit and think about it, it would be like, what? We did
Mhm.
all of that in this short amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the time passes. So whatever goal that you have, whatever thing that you said you wanted to do at the beginning of this year, whatever it was, even if it was your New Year resolution, whatever, you still have time to start.
Exactly.
You still have time to start. So let's go ahead. Does anybody who wants to jump on and share any of the things that you shared previously?
I'll get mine out of the way.
Okay, let's do
all
it.
all right.
That's a good
I mean,
idea.
I had a
That's the
microphone,
Grinch
but
talking.
I'll just wait.
Oh, you go ahead then.
I know.
No, it's okay. You can go.
Then why did you? Okay. I'm gonna go first. I know that last time we did our goals episode, I
Yeah.
did share that I wanted to do a marathon.
That's right.
So I have
Where are you
finally
in
gotten to the
that?
point where I can start training. So we have we have until the end of the year to run that. So
Yeah. Mhm.
not a lot of time, but I'm finally at the point where I can really leave Sienna for a long time
Yeah.
and be
That's
able
right.
to go and come back and still be a mom, still
Yeah.
parent my children. So it's been fun doing the training. It's not as hard as I thought it was going to be mentally, but I think it's also because my mindset is already there, like committed to
Yeah.
doing that thing.
I
That
think
said
what
I would
helps
do.
also is because it's hard physically.
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna trump the mental
Yeah,
hardness right
for
now,
sure.
because you've overcame or you're overcoming the mental
Uh-huh.
aspect of it by waking up
Yeah.
and being at the gym at 5 in the morning. That
Yep.
in itself is a feat.
Mhm.
So
I gotta do it in the morning before the kids.
Yeah.
I've tried to do
Yeah.
it after the kids are up, after
Oh,
I
yeah.
do the breakfast, everything, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I
for sure.
end up not going to the gym.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm. Find what works for you, stick to it.
yep.
Exactly.
So that was one of the goals that I
Mhm.
shared.
Yeah.
Very good. So as you're in the gym right now, you're working out, are you thinking about the marathon every time you get up in the morning, you get there to the gym and you're running and you're sprinting? Is that what's on your mind?
That's one of the things that are on my mind. Just thinking of the end result
Yeah.
of what it's gonna feel like when
Yeah.
I finish
Mhm.
the marathon, when
Oh,
I get
yeah.
to finally say, "Hey, I said I was gonna do it, and I did it."
Exactly.
And then just imagining family at the end, or you know,
Yeah.
just people cheering.
Oh,
Because I know
I'll
that a
definitely
lot
be
of
there at the end.
a lot of marathon runners say that's always usually the best part is
Yeah.
getting to see people and they're like
Yeah.
cheering you on.
Oh,
So
I'm sure.
yeah,
I can imagine. I
Mhm.
can't relate, but I can imagine.
yep,
Okay. That's awesome. I know for me, waking up in the morning when I'm getting ready, because we wake up at the same time, but I'm
Yeah.
getting ready for work.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at, it notifies me that you have been posting.
Mhm.
And because Snapchat tells you when your friends post.
yeah. Snapchat is
It's not a feature that you
in your
turn
business.
on. It just tells you when your friends post.
Yeah.
It tells you when your friend was out of town,
Mhm.
when they're back in town.
Mhm.
Like, that's a little bit, you in my
Too much.
business. Anyway, so I wake up in the morning, I see that Snapchat's telling me about your business, and I'm like, wow, Sally's at it. Sally's doing it. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you for doing
Yeah.
it because you just woke up and did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm so glad that you are, because I see now that it's starting to be a habit for you.
Yeah.
And it inspires me in the morning when I wake up. I'm encouraged by it. I'm encouraged by seeing that,
Yeah.
okay, somebody's up and
Exactly.
at 'em, like, let me get up and let me be productive in the things that I need to do, because if Sally's at the gym, then I can,
Mhm.
I can get out this bed at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah,
So-
and it's such a good time as a mom just to have that moment to myself.
Exactly.
So
Oh,
usually
yeah.
I'm listening to a podcast or
Yeah.
I hope
some
so.
uplifting music.
I hope you are. I'm just kidding. But that's good. Yeah, that's really good. I'm happy for you. And so, Kim, you said that you
Yes.
had something that you wanted to share also.
Yes. While we're talking about health and fitness goals, it definitely has been encouraging seeing Sally wake up. I'll wake up in the morning like, is she awake yet? And yeah, she's been awake. Okay. So just seeing her tackle her goals has made it uplifting for me to continue to tackle my goals. I know just a couple weeks ago, I started getting heart palpitations and just like a lot of pain that I've never experienced before. And that really woke me up. Because I am 3 months postpartum now, and I definitely, after having felt, got a little crazy and started just eating anything and everything. Okay. And I mean, literally anything and everything. I want to eat, even though I'm not hungry, just to stuff my mouth. And, yeah, and that was no good, because then I started getting all these, health issues, and that really shocked me. That really did shock me, because I've never experienced that before, and I knew that this is the heaviest that I have been, and I knew that it was my health and what I have been putting into my body, and it was not good for my body. So that really woke me up, and I decided, you know what, starting today I'm going to start being mindful of what I put into my body. I noticed that when I would go for a walk for my family, that I was really out of breath. I really was. I may look like I'm fit and healthy, but I was really out of breath. It really surprised me. It shocked me. Just because I don't remember the last time that I've been just from walking to be out of breath and so tired that I want to sit down. It was definitely a wake up call, and a good one at that, because I know that I need to tackle it now and not continue to prolong it, and then more health issues arise later. So I've been being mindful of what I've been eating, what time I have been eating, making sure that I, make sure I have at least a 4 gap window before my next meal, and just being really mindful, especially with my children, watching what we put into our bodies, and knowing that if I want to be here for how many, like, for as long as I can, and see my children grow, and also see my grandchildren, because I want to see my grandchildren. I want to grow up and, be able to watch them and live life with them. That it starts now. With every decision I make of what I put into my body to nourish my body, it can either be to nourish it in a good way or to go towards a path of health issues and sickness, and just been very proactive with what I've been putting into my body, my children's body. And yeah, right now that's what we've been doing. We've been going to the track down the street from our house. We've been doing a 30-minute walk every day. Me and Aki last night, we decided to play a workout video with extreme hip hop step last night. And we started stepping, even though we had no step with us because they were all wet from the rain and they were outside. We just stepped on the floor, and yeah, just getting back into health and fitness. So yeah.
Hmm. So now that you are 3 months postpartum, you're trying to slowly get back into the groove,
Yes.
find your footing again,
Yeah.
literally also because you're a step instructor.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really awesome. And like you said, you were shocked. You shouldn't be,
Yeah.
because if you eat crazy like that, that is the outcome.
That is.
I just
that
want
is-
y'all to know.
That is.
I just want everyone here that's listening to know
Yes.
1 + 1 will always equal 2.
Yes.
It will always equal 2.
Yeah.
Don't be shocked. 1 + 1
Yeah.
equals 2. And so I see you doing that. That's very good. I'm
Mhm.
glad that you understand and are
Yeah.
aware. It's not about the snapback.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's not
No,
the goal
for
here.
sure. Yeah.
The goal is
Back
you
then,
have health
back
issues,
then it was,
and
but
we need to address them.
yeah. But after becoming a fitness coach, it's just all about health all around, and really the goal is to, show my children the importance of health, so that as they grow, they take that importance of exercise and eating right, and take that as a generational thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing that you have going moving forward. I'm glad that you figured it out.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you understood the consequences of your
Yes,
actions,
exactly.
and that you said it's not very mindful.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not very mindful, not very demure.
Speaking of that trend, it's so funny because I see it everywhere. It's become. Can we talk about how
Literally
quickly something can go viral
overnight,
and how it can change your life?
literally overnight.
I think the creator who did that is already having brand deals and living a whole nother life
Overnight.
and that's just from just being funny, just from
exactly.
being yourself and doing something funny that that person may not have known
Yeah.
well, definitely wouldn't have known the where that would have went. I mean, it's
Mhm.
like getting trademarked now. It's
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, but all I know
Yeah.
is people be getting viral overnight,
Literally.
and it just goes to
Exactly.
the moon from
Yep.
there.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's very good. I'm glad that you are working on that. What about some other goals? I know for me, I also had
Yes.
I'm trying to think back to that
Yeah,
episode
me
where I
too.
did share my goals. But I do remember one of the episodes we did say I'm working on something new.
Yes,
I'm gonna
that's
come
right.
back and update you guys.
Yeah.
And we've been past the month of updating.
Yeah.
We're like 3 months past
Yes.
the time I said I was gonna update. But as you guys know, those who have been listening for a while, you guys know that I work with my dad.
Yeah.
I work with my dad's business along with my other work, but especially with my dad's business, just all of the knowledge, because I'm working with him. I guess you could say full time.
Yeah.
But I've always
Mhm.
worked with him.
Yeah.
I've always worked with him since high school. I've
Yeah.
always been there. I've always, every project that I see, I always think to myself, hey, I was there, or I was there for this day. Or so when I look back at my life, I'm like, it's a constant. Working
Mhm.
with my dad has always been a constant, and I just never realized it until being a whole
Yeah.
grown up now. But I wanted to take the information and
Mhm.
all of the knowledge and skills that we use every single day working with my
Exactly.
father, because he's in carpentry.
Yep.
And he has now especially we specialize in decks and fences, and so we do a lot
Exactly.
of outside work, things like that, pergolas, gazebos. And so I wanted to take all of that knowledge and
Mhm.
apply it in another way that's not as laborious.
Yes.
And so that the option of real estate came up.
Yeah.
And just deciding that I wanted to dive into the world of real estate. And me
Mhm.
saying it here
Yeah.
is
Accountability.
Yeah, it's accountability, and
For
it's making
sure.
me super.
Yeah.
Yeah, accountability. Because now it's like I have to do it.
Yeah.
Now that I'm telling you guys,
Yes.
I have to do it.
Yeah.
And I have to update you guys again when I'm
Exactly.
actually doing
Yeah.
it. But yes, I'm going through the courses right now. I really want to get in there. You never know. You just never know
Exactly.
what's up. Just like the creator who did the very
Yeah.
demure thing.
Yes.
And you just never know
Exactly.
what is out there. You never know the potential of something, right? Until you try it out. And so that's something that I'm looking forward to, just kind of taking all this information that we have, because what can I do with this information
Yeah.
when if I'm not building the deck, I still have the
Exactly.
knowledge of it, right?
Yeah.
So I want to apply it in another way. And so that has been a fun experience for me, and
Oh, yeah.
fun as in a lot of note taking, a
Yeah.
lot of, because when it comes to studying something, sometimes everyone learns differently.
Yes.
I might be learning overboard because
Yeah.
sometimes I'm taking too much notes and we need to move on to the next course.
Yeah. I'm the
But
same.
right, so that's my thing. I'm trying to get into
Yeah.
that, and I hope that those of you who are listening, keep in your prayers for the strength and
Yes.
the strength to continue to do that
Exactly.
on top of regular life.
Yeah.
And so, I'm excited to dive into it.
I'm
It's
excited.
a whole new thing. It's something I never
Exactly.
thought about growing up. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
something I ever thought would, within the scope of something that I would
Yes.
want to do.
Yeah, but especially because it's not something that you thought of wanting to do, but it's literally been in our lives since the get. With Dad's business
Oh, yeah,
growing
yeah,
up and
for sure.
everything that he knows, from the foundation to the plumbing to the electricity,
Yeah,
every single part. So
yeah, exactly.
what better way?
So I'm going to take advantage of that
Exactly.
and apply it to
Yes.
the real estate
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find a place in that world for myself.
Mhm.
And when I say find, I mean create. I need to create space
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
And so I'm trying to do that now. I am trying to tell my kids the importance of homework, because I also have homework and studying to do. So yes, I'm excited about that endeavor,
Mhm.
and I'm ready. I'm excited to hopefully give you guys more of an update before the end of this year.
Yeah, and can you guys tell that she's a big sister with the workload that she has?
Oh, I'm dead.
It's giving Luisa from Encanto.
Luisa.
Yeah.
Look, I've been giving big back, big arms.
Pressure.
I've been giving big back, big arms, big box appliance.
She can
And it
handle the
never
pressure,
stops.
and it never stops.
No.
Never stops.
It never stops.
No, but it's a lot of fun having something new. Something
Yeah.
new is always exciting.
Mhm.
It's always
And getting to make connections as well, like as you go
Yeah.
into real estate,
Mhm.
meeting people.
Yes. Yes, but you're so right. Talking to people, making connections, getting to know the community,
Yeah,
and just I think that that's something that I'm gonna really have a fun time getting to learn, getting to do. Anyway, we also have some other goals that we've been sharing.
Yes.
But before we get to that, did you want to?
Yeah, I know. I also wanted to share about my goal. And at that time, when we did that episode, I did have a goal, and it has shifted and changed, but it's towards the same thing, which,
So just redefined, revised.
yeah, it's just redefined, revised, and it is definitely real estate as well. It's not to be like Anna, but it's just to have the knowledge of real estate. I don't know if I want to like go there yet, okay? But it's just to have the knowledge of real estate and to be, yeah, just to work beside Anna and what Anna said. So that's why just heading towards real estate and seeing, once I head there and seeing what the next step is after that. So that's just
Yeah,
the
definitely.
new goal now.
And-
And now the accountability. So
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
So, state it and claim it. And while we're on that topic of you joining along doing something
Yes.
new, Sally, you started something new just recently.
That's right.
Did you want to share that
You
with
wanna
the
say
class?
something?
So, this year,
Yes. Tell us.
I finally
Tell us your
decided to
secrets.
pull the kids from public school. So I have joined. I've joined Kim with her homeschooling group. So you guys get ready for some of that content. I'll start tagging, whether it's Kim's separate homeschooling YouTube page or a separate Instagram page for all our homeschool adventures. But it's something that we're really excited about. The kids are flourishing, starting to really get to see their personalities really shine through, because there's like no type of what is it called when you hold yourself back? Not restraint.
Reservation.
There's no reservation whatsoever. Like they're just. So I'm excited to see how it's going to develop over the course of the years. I know me and Kim, we came up with the name all together. Little Champs Academy. So
do you want to see how that name came about? Or?
You can go ahead.
Yes, we came up with the name Little Champs Academy because growing up we all have nicknames, and my dad's nickname for Sally was Big Champion. So he always called her Big Champion, Big Champion. And over time the Big Champion went to Big Bunny.
It wasn't. It was because just put the microphone down.
I'm not gonna tell it.
So anyway, sorry to put you guys through that. The name of the homeschool, their name of the homeschool, because they're both going into this, journey together. They both have 5 kids each, so that makes 10. You already got a whole school right there. And so the Little Champs Academy, that name came about because when Sally was growing up, like Kim said, we all have nicknames, and Sally's name was the Big Champion because growing up, anything that would happen, Sally was very headstrong ever since the day she was, ever since the moment that my mom, for those of you who are listening, thank goodness for you that you don't have to visually see what's happening on this couch right now. But anyway, so when they were little, Sally got the name Big Champion because she's always been headstrong ever since the moment that she was born. Even before she was born, when she was in my mother's womb, she's always, been headstrong. And you guys hear us from time to time call her the Bulldog, because she's the one who's gonna say it. If you're in a room and the
I've come a long way. I'm getting better.
You know the guy who says it, and you're like, come on. Don't let it go. Let it go. Don't say it. Just let this moment pass. No, Sally's going to say it. Whatever thing that needs to be said, she's going to say it. So she's
I'm
always
say what everyone else is thinking, but are too scared to say.
Yeah. And so, see how she just cut me off? So growing up, I had friends who maybe, friends get into arguments and whatever. And I remember getting into an argument with a friend, and I'm talking about 4 or 5 years old, whatever age, I was young. And Sally would be the one to step in and tell my friend Jennifer to stop picking on me and blah, blah, blah. Like she was always that girl ever since she was young. So my dad would call her, oh, that's my Big Champion. Well, I couldn't pronounce that word when we were growing up. So I would say Poponi. Oh, so when he would call her champion, I would say Poponi. And then Poponi over time turned into Pony. So we always call her Big Bonnie. So she's the Big Bonnie. And then Kim's nickname is Maul. And the reason why her nickname is Maul is because she was the small champion. Because when she was born, she was 10 pounds. She was a big girl. She was a heavyweight from birth. She stood her ground. And so when she came, that was like Sally number 2. Because this was another bulldog right behind her. And so my dad would say, oh, that's my small champion. Well, it went from small champion to my small, and then it just developed into Maul. And so Maul and Big Bonnie present you with the Little Champs Academy, because all these kids in homeschool are the kids of the champs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so that's where the name came from, and they're off to a strong start. The kids have been so excited. They're so excited for this. You see them all open up, and they're all comfortable to be themselves, who they are. You see their little personalities, and you see how each one of them learns. They all learn differently, and they all have different styles and different speeds at which they learn. And it's just so good to see them be in an environment where they're encouraged and supported to learn in the way that they learn and at the pace. Because being a kid in school for 5 days a week for 8 hours of the day, and you're having to be told to be quiet, sit still, don't move, don't make noise, You can't even share
Really
food in the
express.
cafeteria because of, there's just so many other things that come with that. And I'm saying that as a parent whose kids are in public school. My kids are in public school. Matter of fact, they should be getting up for school right now,
Yeah.
getting ready to head out
That's
the door.
right.
But
You-
yeah, so seeing these kids in homeschool
Mhm.
is such a blessing to watch them, especially for me from the outside, just
yeah.
seeing them, seeing the difference from the time when they were in school and
Mhm.
now. It's this environment is really so fertile. It's fertile ground
Oh, yeah.
for their learning.
Yeah, especially seeing them come out their shell. And I know with the Little Champs Academy, as we said, there's 5 children for each of us, so that makes 10. We said, why not start a co-op? So we decided to start a co-op because we see all these different co-ops, and we were like, you know what? Let's do it. We see each other all the time, anyways. Our children see each other every single week. If it's not church, it's a family gathering, but it's literally every week. So we decided, okay, every Thursday we're going to meet. We just started last week, our first co-op get together, and the children had so much fun. I decided to tackle, you know what? Let's go over all the body systems, what each body part does for our body. As a fitness coach, it's going to head towards the health and what we put into our bodies, being mindful, and then maybe some gardening here and there, and growing
Raising
our
some chickens.
yeah, maybe in the future, who knows? Stay tuned. But definitely just seeing them grow, seeing their growth, seeing their excitement, seeing Miss Little Annalisa come out of her shell and start dancing and just being silly. It's just so awesome. And this week is Sally's turn, so I'm excited to see what she has in store
The
for our
growth
co-op.
mindset. We'll be doing growth mindset.
Period.
Teaching the kids so that they know, because I know as we continue to learn, some of the kids, mine, have like self-limiting thoughts. So we're gonna be talking about changing the way that we think and using different words. Like instead of just saying I can't do this, you can say I can't do this yet. So doing those little changing the way that we think and speak is going to help them as we continue to learn other things. So it's super exciting. And it's super exciting because Harper last year had the worst. She had so much anger, so much. She was just so moody after school.
And Harper is, how old is she?
She is now 6 years old. Last year she was 5. And so I know that when I went for a field trip, I was able to see, her environment and everything. And so seeing her now being homeschooled is just a breath of fresh air.
And that's the thing, is because you do what's right for your kid and what's perfect for your child. You as a parent, you advocate for your child and you know your child best. And for Harper, she's more on the reserve side out of all the grandchildren. She's, she keeps to herself. She has very big emotions. She won't talk about them. And so a lot of that stuff she kind of just carries in her backpack. But this year with the homeschooling, she's completely flourishing. She's so comfortable to ask questions, to show her personality. She's in a safe space where she can, just be the person that she was when she was created. Her holding back and being reserved was never her. Seeing her now, just really taking in the homeschool life and thriving in it, it's so wonderful to see. So I'm really glad for her, especially because I saw the difference with her in public school and with her here in homeschool. And she's the same age as my son Simeone. And I tell him the same thing, because when we do homework last year when he was in kindergarten, and I would ask him about a question and he would say, I can't know. And I'm like, guy, let's say, let me think. Let me think. So now instead of him saying, I don't know, I can't know, he'll say, let me think. And so it's just, those little things that change your thought process and changes, because when you change it up here, you change the way that you do things. I saw something on Facebook the other day, and it said this data, I don't know if it's real or not. Okay. Just don't give it any weight. But anyway, I saw a post that said that men who kiss their wife before they go to work are less likely to get into an accident or whatever the thing was. And that's the same kind of thing here. It's not because he kissed his wife. It's not the wife. It's not the kiss. It's the type of man who kisses your wife It's the type of man who's mindful on the road because he has someone to go back home to, people important that he's also living for. It's the mindset that creates the habits, that creates the intentional and purposeful living. So that's exactly what I mean by that little thing from I don't know to let me think about it. Completely changes your posture and your direction. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so true because I also saw on Facebook, it was a quote. It
Are
said,
we? There's too much stuff.
it said,
Facebook,
hold on. It said, hold on. It said, change your mindset, you change your life. And I think that is so true because for my mindset, like in just the past couple of years and shifting my perspective and all of that has completely changed my outlook, has changed my attitude, has changed my mood. There are still a lot of things that I need to work on, but just
The flesh.
doing that,
The flesh.
just changing your mindset, period, it can definitely cause like a downpour effect on the rest of your life.
Seriously. And that's in a
Lifestyle.
positive or a negative way.
Mhm.
It's a strong and powerful tool. Please do not let your mind just sit. You know, every morning, stand guard at the door of your mind.
Yeah.
Be careful what you
Yep.
take in. Be careful what you are digesting on the internet, on the radio, even conversations with friends, even people who are
you surround
toxic,
yourself with.
even
Yep.
hearing someone else's problems or someone else's negativity,
Yeah.
complaining day in and day out.
Mhm.
Be mindful. Stand
Yeah.
guard at the door of your mind because that's the battlefield, right? So yeah, it's very important. It's very important, and it's more important that you understand that and that you take the offensive position, not defense, but offense. So Kim, Sally, I'm sorry, circling back to Sally because you also started something else. We shared before how Sally, just after all those years, how she decided to take that step back from work whenever we shared with whenever you left the corporate world, and you were kind of at that time you were really, what is it called, weighing the decision, and you kind of had like inner conflict because you were fighting against going back right back into work, and you were trying to decide, am I going to stay home, am I going to go to work, what is the best route for me? Where are you in that? Can you share that with the viewers, because we left off on that. You said you were going to stay home, and what has that journey been since that time and now?
It's definitely been, instead of going back to work, I've been trying to figure out what is it that I'm really great at. Like, what am I already gifted in? What do I love doing already that I can turn into income? And so a lot of that is going to be digital marketing, creating digital products on things that I am passionate about, like birth, and then getting connected with other people who have the same ideas and same perspective that I do. And there's so many people out there, but yeah, I definitely, there are some moments where I struggle on wanting to go back to a 9 to 5, but then just thinking of all the progress that my kids have already made this year, with me being at home, with them being homeschooled, I cannot imagine going back to the thing that stressed me out, that really frustrated me. Like, yes, it is stressful to also be a stay-at-home mom and to homeschool your kids, but I would take that and being able to see them flourish rather than going back into the busyness of like, okay, I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. Right now I'm doing this, like just feeling like my schedule is so jam-packed in regards to all my focus being on my work and not on my family. And so that's kind of where we're at. So just still trying to develop myself more and study more so I can continue to earn income passively at home.
Right, exactly. And that's good. I've enjoyed watching you as you maneuver and navigate around that. I've seen you have thoughts, back and forth, back and forth, but I'm so glad that you decided to hang in there and stand firm in your decision to stay with the kids and help them through homeschool and just a short time. It's been maybe 4 or 5 months. I've really seen all of them, especially Samson, come out of his shell, and to see him discover his love for music and his love for dancing.
Which has always been there.
It's always been there
since he was
it's
little.
always been in his heart since he was a kid, but now he's has the freedom to
Mhm.
completely be that person.
Yes.
And I know that a lot of that
That
is
homeschool
attributed
kid.
to you being home. Yeah, he's that, you know those weird homeschool kids.
He fits the mold.
That's
Yeah.
Samson. And the thing is that he thrives in the being the weird homeschool kid.
Yeah.
And it's I love seeing it. And that just goes to show how little intentional
Yeah.
decisions
Mhm.
like that can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Because look at the difference it's had on your children, and I'm sure it's had a difference just in your mindset alone.
Yep.
That maybe you don't even notice yet,
Mhm.
that you haven't even been able to take inventory of yet.
Yes.
I know something that is a huge praise since the last time that we have been on here
Mhm.
was that Sienna was a part of
Yeah.
our podcast a lot of
Yeah.
episodes. Sienna was with us,
Yeah.
Sally's youngest daughter,
Mhm.
who is now a year old. She was always with us because she was a
Mhm.
little colic baby.
Yes.
And it was very challenging in the beginning to
Mhm.
record and to have her,
To come
Yeah.
together.
because
Yep.
she wouldn't sit still,
Mhm.
and not like she just had her, she had her own thing going on. And now even her,
Yeah.
she's
Mhm.
totally relaxed.
Yeah.
She's our Four Seasons baby.
Yes.
If you've seen the TikTok of the Four
Mhm.
Seasons baby, the conscious baby,
Yeah.
Sienna is our conscious baby.
Yes.
And so it's so wonderful to see even her
Mhm.
live her best life.
She's living it.
It's your decision being home has affected even from the youngest, your
Yeah.
youngest child,
Mhm.
all the way to Samson.
Yes.
It has completely just infected everyone in the best way.
Yes.
Positivity has just infected
Mhm.
the household. Everyone is free to express themselves. Everyone feels the
Yeah.
weight has been lifted,
Mhm. Yeah.
And so it's just I love to see it.
Yeah.
Kim, did you have anything else that you wanted to share before we wrap up?
No.
All right.
Not at this moment. I can't think of anything. I'm just thinking of
Okay, well, I don't. You guys probably can't hear it, but Kim's youngest, Foweti, is crying in the room. He has just woken up. It is 7:01 in the morning, and he is awake. So with that note, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here, so Kim can go grab her little baby.
Mhm.
Thank you guys so much for catching up with us. We just wanted to tune in. We just wanted to touch base.
Yep.
We wanted to talk to you guys, tell you guys how much we appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for continuing to hang out with us. Thank you
Yes.
so much for reaching out to us on all our platforms with questions, or even those of you who have came on as a guest. We thank you so much for your time. Your time is valuable, so we really appreciate you spending it here with us. We'll catch you on another episode of
What Anna Said podcast.
Bye.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe, or comment what you thought of this episode. Thank you for tuning in to a Anna Said podcast. Bye.